where I am, where I stand, where I pray, where I work and breathe and move and be and sing. God is. God is. God is.
Let's give Jim Bianchi lots and lots and lots of love.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you, Jim. Welcome to the Revealing Experience. I'm Sunny Daye. Y'all look so scary. You look beautiful. I love it. I love it. Well, welcome on in. Let's welcome each other and those who are still coming. Come on in. We welcome. We welcome. We welcome you. Come on in. We welcome. We welcome. We welcome you. Let go. Be free. Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here. We're spreading love, joy, and cheer. So come on in.
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 We welcome you.
Come on in.
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 We welcome
you. Let go. Be free. Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here. We're spreading love, joy, and cheer. So come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Come on in. We welcome you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. We welcome you. Come on in.
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 We
welcome you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in.
We welcome you.
Come on in. Wow. What a wonderful, wonderful evening that we have with all of us here sharing it together. It really is already an awesome night. And so as I know that this is the truth of the unfolding of this evening, let us just know the truth of who we are, the joy, the peace, and the love. Yes? Reveal, reveal the love inside of me. Reveal the love that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, love is what I see. Reveal the love in me. Reveal, reveal the peace inside of me. Reveal the peace that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, peace is what I see. Reveal the peace in me, the joy. Reveal, reveal the joy inside of me. Reveal the joy that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, joy is what I see. Reveal the joy in me. Reveal, reveal the love inside of me. Reveal the love that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, love is what I see. Peace,
Every time I open up,
peace is what I see. Joy.
every time I
Open up, joy is what I see. Love, reveal the love in me.
Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Jim. My name is Cameron Murati, a new practitioner here at Seaside. I want to welcome you tonight. So please join me in a moment of stillness as we pray in. It is so precious in this moment that I recognize the presence within me. This presence, this God particle, is in each and every person in this sanctuary. Recognizing this presence, I know I embody the qualities of God, which is peace, love, harmony, and just pure comfort. Resting in this knowing, I know all is well, and the light in each and every person shines and brightens this sanctuary this evening. It is a good night. It is a night of revealing, and we will all take something to be learned from this evening. And so it is. So, welcome to the Revealing Experience again. It is the end of October, and the theme for tonight is, that is scary, all right? Reverend Sunshine's message tonight is trick or treat. So, with that said, I've tied in a reading. The reading tonight is from Your Invisible Power by Dr. Ernest Holmes. God, your impersonal self. I am that which I am. I am the eternal presence of your own self. Thus, there is no mediator between you and myself but your own thought. I create innumerable centers of my consciousness, personified as people. Yet I am is the thread of unity running through all, binding all back to myself. Because I am a perfect oneness, all of me exists everywhere. Therefore, wherever you recognize me, there I am. And whether or not you recognize me, I'm still there. Hence it is written, behold, I stand at the door and knock. This divine visitor, which is your true self, and which is that which I am, is both the one who stands at the door and knocks, and the one who opens the door. Trick or treat.
Thank you, Cameron. What a great reading. Welcome, everybody. What a wonderful night. I see that I'm really pleased tonight because for any minister to walk into a service and see that the devil has come to the service, like, that says a lot. And we got a couple tonight here. It's so wonderful to be able to dress up and express and to laugh and to have some joy, especially around some of these holidays that have been set up for us to enjoy and to really show the allness of who we are. Welcome this evening. I'm so glad that you're all here. The talk title tonight, it's interesting because it's trick or treat. And of course, since Halloween is tomorrow night, and we know that we may be getting some young people at the door, or maybe some young people at heart at the door, asking that question or posing the question, trick or treat. You know, I'm a kind of person who, I love Google, because whatever question comes to mind, I can just get on my phone or get on the internet and ask the question, like, where did this come from? This trick or treat come from? And it's got a whole lot of histories and a whole lot of lands. What I know and what I came to learn is that the question, trick or treat, I didn't even know this. I mean, I did some trick or treating when I was a kid, just maybe for about a year or so. It wasn't really something we did in the Bronx. Just saying. But that it's actually a question that's posed to the homeowner or to the person behind the door. It's trick. If it's pretty much, it's almost a threat, but it's an idle threat. It's give me a treat, or I'm going to trick you, or I'm going to pull a prank on you. So it's trick or treat. And no wonder so many people give out candies. It's like, please don't trick me. But where I want to go with this tonight is the trick or treat that we play with ourselves. How many times we engage in tricking ourselves instead of going to treat, meaning going into treatment. See, the thing is that as we come to spiritual communities, we recognize and know that there's a power and a presence and a life, and that it has created everything out of itself. Therefore, it stands to reason, and it's just logical that our life is that life that God is. So many avatars, so many books, so many wonderful spiritual scriptures have been written about this oneness and this wholeness in which we are, that right where we are, God is. Jesus the Christ said, when you see me, you see the Father. In Scripture, it also talks about that we're made in the image and likeness of, and all of the spiritual books, all of the sacred scriptures have that. So simply telling us right from the beginning, right from Jump Street, that in the beginning there was God and God created everything out of itself. Therefore, our life is that life that God is. It has that potentiality, or as Cameron talked about, that particle, that which is God is living in, through, and as us, and that we have our beingness in God. And so it's interesting because on a regular basis, we continue to trick ourselves. And this is a horrible trick. And that's why for the month of October, my theme has been, wow, that's scary. Because here we are, powerful expressions, emanations of the Most High. Here we are, God in the flesh. We are the way that God shows up on this planet as human. And yet, we want to trick ourselves into believing that we're nothing, or less than, or that we're limited, or unlovable, or unworthy, or you can name it. Name it. I mean, obviously we do on a regular basis because we continue to believe in separation. We continue to put our faith and trust in this idea that we are separate from the life that God is. That's a heck of a trick. And you can imagine that if you are having these little kids come to the door and threatening you, trick or treat, and you decide to give them a treat instead, why wouldn't you give yourself that treat? Why would you instead choose to continue to trick yourselves into believing that your life is separate from the life of the Most High? Why would anyone in their right mind choose to live in a situation of being less than, or not enough, or fear, or doubt, or shame, or guilt, or illness, when we have right at our disposal the opportunity to live these full, opulent, omnipotent lives. Why do we continuously tell ourselves that God is somewhere out there when that thing that is the greatest thing that could ever be is right where we are? Why do we continue to tell ourselves, I'm too young to do this, I'm too old to that, I don't have enough money to do this, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not sexy enough, I'm not this enough, whatever it is, you can fill in the blank. When that is a lie. A lie. Why do we continue to haunt ourselves with these ideas of separation? And I guess it's a rhetorical question because it really doesn't matter why. When we stop to think about it, does it really matter why? What matters is that it's not the truth, and yet I have continued to believe it, and I continue to use it in my daily life, and it brings me to self-doubt, low self-esteem, not feeling worthy, illness, mental chaos. Brings me to this place where I'm acting or living as if I'm confused or don't know. Those are the results of thinking and believing that we're separate from the life that God is. And what we get an opportunity to do here, what we get an opportunity to do in every spiritual community, is begin to recognize the truth of who we are. Right where we are. And I don't know who has ever told you that you're not. Sonny and I were talking about Jamie Lula's song, You're Perfect. You know, you're not broken. You're not damaged. You're not less than. You're perfect. You're perfect. So whoever it was who told you that you were damaged or less than or too fat or too skinny or too ugly or can't sing or can't dance or can't achieve whatever you want to, forgive them right now, for they not knoweth what they speak of. Forgive them. Let it go. Hear me, because I know what I'm talking about. Hear me when I tell you that you're beautiful and magnificent and powerful, that you're loved and lovable, that you deserve everything, all the treasures and the goodness that life could bring you. Believe me when I tell you that right within you is the power, that you have a power, that there's this indwelling power that lives within you, that when you activate that power, and it is activated by the use of your own mind, that when you activate this power, and when you accept the fullness of it, you can begin and you will absolutely begin to experience a life beyond your wildest dreams. That you, as you embody that you have this power, that this power is you, and you begin to accept the fullness and the allness of who you are, you begin to have this freedom, that you're no longer shackled to the walls of doubt, fear, insecurity, addiction, chaos, drama. That you're no longer addicted to drama. That you're no longer addicted to lack and limitation. But that there's a power within you that by its use, by your acceptance of it, you simply use it as the key to unshackle yourself from the walls and from the bondage of the fear and the lack and the limitation. See, when we talk about treat and trick or treat, the treat is really what you want to do. The treat is really the treatment. The treat is really what treatment is. Treatment is scientific prayer. Some of y'all might go, that don't make no kind of sense whatsoever. Because, of course, who puts science and prayer together? We do, because it's all one. And the thing about scientific prayer, it's also known as affirmative prayer. And what makes affirmative prayer or scientific prayer, aka treatment or when I treat, what makes it different than all other prayer is that I'm not begging or beseeching, but I'm using a 5-step process. A 5-step process. Oh, good. I could keep it right here in my hand. A 5-step process. I can recognize this 5-step process. It's that simple. It's 5 steps. It's a scientific prayer. It's a scientific method to help me to remember the truth of who I am and to anchor that in to such a degree that it activates the subjective mind in the universe, in God. Here's what I'm talking about. It's simply stating that which is true and believing it. Using scientific prayer, using our treatment, when we treat so that we can change our belief, so that we might embrace our beliefs, really dig in them, really be into that which is the truth, so we can stop believing the lies and really begin believing what is true about our life. See, the cool thing about treatment is that it starts off like this, is that I recognize that there's a power and a presence. There's one power, one presence. We can call it whatever we want to. We could call it life, we could call it love, we could call it creative intelligence. It's one life and one power, and it has created everything. So everything has its beingness, everything has its existence in this one life. For there's only the one. Now, most religions already teach that. Most spiritual communities already believe that. It's just common that there's this power and a presence. There's this universal energetic that has created everything. So it's simply recognizing that power and this presence as the qualities that Cameron talked about in his opening prayer. Recognizing God or recognizing life as love, joy, peace, abundance, wholeness, eternal life, wisdom, clarity. Recognizing that. That is God. That is God. The qualities of God. The way God shows up and expresses, especially around eternal life. The second step is simply to recognize that it's kind of logical, right? If God created everything and I'm here, then God has created me, which then means that I'm reuniting or that I'm recognizing and unifying my life with that life that God is. Because that's the problem. That's the problem and the trick. I have been thinking that my life is separate from the life of God. And so, of course, I believe in lack and limitation and doubt and fear, because I've been thinking and believing that my life is separate from the life of God. So in my treatment, when I treat, my second step is to recognize and to unify with that power and presence, to reunify, because the truth is that I've never been separate from it, but I've just thought and believed that I was separate from it. So I'm simply just reminding myself that God is all there is, and I have my life in God. And that right where I am, God is. And that which is the truth of God is the truth about me. And it's the truth about me in human form. And to the degree that the human form can really embrace and embody the allness that God is, that's what I'm working with. The allness that God is as a tree is treeing. The allness as God is as the ocean is oceaning. It's being itself. It's full self. It is every drop. It is the wave. It is the current. That's the way God shows up as the ocean in its power and its majesty. That's the way. That's the way God shows as us. And in this third step of our treatment, it's simply to state that which I want to experience. to state that which I want to experience. So this is, again, pun intended, where I get to treat myself to the goodness of life, meaning that I experience joy and abundance, that I experience health and wholeness, peace of mind. Whatever it is that you're currently not experiencing, that you want to experience, is where you now state this in the affirmative. My life is now filled with joy and abundance. I live with ease and grace. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly. This is where we absolutely can treat ourselves, where we get a chance and an opportunity not to go away like, I'm a billionaire, y'all, check it out, here I am. Because what happens with treatment is this. We must be able to embrace it and believe it. I can spew 1,000,001 things that I'm an astronaut right now. I don't really believe that. So even if right now you're at that stage of the game and the stage of treatment and the stage of spiritual unfoldment where you are willing to accept your wholeness or your abundance, or you're willing to accept peace, or you're willing to be open to seeing it more, then use those words and use them affirmatively. It's taking a little step at a time. Because if you don't believe it and you're talking about I'm a billionaire or I'm an astronaut, and it's not what you believe, they're just words in the wind. Our words have power when we believe them. Our words have power when we begin to use them in such a way that we can begin and that we can actually embrace them, and when we actually know their validity and how powerful they are, and that it is our truth. Treatment, as we do our treatments, as we treat over and over and over again, it helps to remind us of the truth of who we are, because we recognize that God is all there is, that I'm one with this power and presence, and that the word that I speak now has power, because if it's the truth that God is abundance, then I must be abundant. I can't be anything that God is not. It has to be the truth. So it's really bringing our mind and our hearts to this place of alignment with that which is already the truth. Because we've been believing the trick. We've been believing the trick. We've been tricking ourselves to believe that we're separate. And actually, we've been exercising that muscle so much that it's huge. And now what we get to do is exercise the muscle of treatment, of knowing the truth about ourselves. Because when we switch the focus to that which is a lie, to that which is the truth, and we begin to exercise here, we begin to treat ourselves here, we begin to use treatment here with the truth of who we are, we begin to learn how to believe the truth instead of believing what we've been taught or what we've been told and how we've been bamboozled. Trick or treat. And I think that we don't need to wait till October 31st to ask ourselves that on a regular basis. I think we should wake up every day and go, trick or treat. Which one are you having today, honey? Because we need to be conscious about what it is we're choosing. Are we going to choose today to continue to trick ourselves and keep going down the road of endless doom and gloom? Or are we going to treat ourselves and use treatment to remind ourselves of the truth of who we are? And so in step 4 of our treatment, we just move into a place of thanksgiving. We move into this place of gratitude as much as we possibly can. You know, Scripture says, pray believing it is done. So if I believe it's done, and I believe I'm going to receive, or I believe that this is already my life, then I naturally move into this place of gratitude. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for the friends and the family and the health and the wholeness and the abundance and the love and the joy and the peace of my life. I automatically move into this place of gratitude or thanksgiving. I automatically move into this place of, wow, this is absolutely a gift. This is absolutely a joy. And I move into that place of gratitude where I give thanks. I give thanks in advance for the manifestation of what I've already affirmed in step 3. And in the 5th step of treatment, I just release it. I release this word now. I release this word now into the law, knowing that it's already going to be made done. It was already done before I spoke it. Now, the thing what happens is that with treatment, as I use treatment, as I treat on a daily basis, I treat and I let it go. I let it go until I get the results. Now, what happens for a lot of us is this. This may seem really silly to you, but this is kind of what we do. And I'll just kind of put it this way. You have a sunflower seed, and you want to get a sunflower. You take that sunflower seed and you put it in the dirt, and you pack it in nicely, and you give it some water. And then a couple of days go by, and you be like, where is that sunflower? I've been waiting 3 whole days for that sunflower. Where's the sunflower? So-and-so, sunflower, how long do they take? And you know what we do? We don't literally do this, but this is what I'm talking about. We dig it up. What's up? Oh, and we might see a little spout coming out of that sunflower seed, so we might stick it back in. But if we continue to mess with our prayer, if we continue to doubt, if we continue to allow fear and doubt and worry to have us digging up that which we've already planted, i.e. our prayer, that which we have already released, if we've released it, we released it. Let it go for real. Don't be trying to reel it back. Get back here. Be trying to hold on. Let it go. And allow the prayer, allow our consciousness to know and to joyfully expect its manifestation. Look for it. Look for that sunflower. Look for the way that it manifests in your life, even in a small way, because as we begin to recognize that it's happening in a small way, it begins to happen in a bigger and more joyful way for us. Now, what will happen, though, is if I find that I'm trying to dig it up, I need to treat about my desire to dig it up. So now I have another avenue and another thing to treat about, because obviously I need to treat about how I may not be trusting the universe, how I may not be trusting God. And so I got to get my mind right. So, boom, there's one power, one presence, one life. That life is that life that God is. That life is love, joy, peace, abundance. It is everything. I'm one with this power and presence now. That which it is, I am in human form. I'm the way God shows up on this planet. So therefore, I move into my day with ease and grace, trusting the divine flow of life, trusting that everything unfolds for my highest good, because there's only good. There's only good. I'm grateful that I know this now. I'm thankful that I said this prayer right now. I'm grateful and thankful that I have been reminded of the truth. So I release this word now into the activity of the law. I let it be. I let it go. And I let it go. And over again, I will find things, situations that call for my prayer, that call for me to pay attention, that call for my right thinking. Anytime I begin to think that I'm separate from you, or that we're not one, or that we're separate from life, again, back to my treatment. There's one power, one presence, one life. That life is God. It is such and such and such and such. I am one with it. Therefore, everything is unfolding in a graceful and divine order. In an order that is perfect. I'm grateful. I'm glad I did this. I'm going to release this word now into the law and let it be. It's that simple 5-step treatment that we get to treat ourselves to on a regular basis when we're thinking trick or treat. When we're thinking, do I trick myself into believing the same old and getting the same old, or do I treat myself to a treatment so that I might know the fullness of my life, that I might know that right where I am, God is peace, power, abundance, prosperity, clarity, wholeness, health, well-being, that it is my life, that I'm not separate from it. Here's what Ernest Holmes says right before we go into our quiet time together. In the Science of Mind book, on page 401, it's under the topic of general summary. He says, we must believe, and I don't know for those of you who might be able to see this or not, but these letters are all capital. And you know, nowadays, if you type or write in all capitals, it means you're yelling, right? So he's yelling at us. I like to think that way. We must believe. We must believe. And he says, we must learn how to believe. Because that's the key. It is done unto us as we believe. Our thoughts, when they become habitual, become beliefs. And then we live and act based on our beliefs. So we must learn how to believe. And he says we should treat ourselves until we do believe. We should treat ourselves until we do believe. We should constantly and continuously, day in and day out, pose the question to ourselves, trick or treat. What is it that we want? Do we want to continue in the same old fashion that we have? Do we still want to receive lack and limitation and poor health and, problems, inner turmoil? Or do we want something different? If we want something different, we must believe differently. And now we know how to believe. How we believe is that we should treat ourselves until we do. Until we believe the truth about ourselves, until we become in alignment with that which is the universal truth. Now, we've done a really good job of believing in lack and limitation and separation. Now, it's upon us to no longer be afraid of the ghosts and the goblins, no longer be afraid of the tricks, to no longer be a trick. Ooh, did I say that? Okay. Yes, to no longer allow ourselves to believe in lack and limitation and separation, but in fact to know this indwelling life, this indwelling power and presence that is right where I am, it's right where you are, and that we have this power and it's available to us, and yet we go outside looking for it. And it's right here. It's right where we are. And it's activated by our mind. And to the degree in which we embrace, and to the degree in which we accept our wholeness, to the degree in which we accept this truth about ourselves, we have the opportunity to live these rich, full, free lives. So tomorrow, and every day after that, and even on the way home, you ask yourself, trick or treat, until you don't have to ask yourself anymore, and the response is treat. And the response is treat. And the response is treat, which is simply to treat ourselves, to recognize that right where we are, God is. The wholeness of God is right where we are. The joy, the peace, the eternal life that God is expressing in, through, and as us in such a beautiful way that it can't help but shine. And so we accept that more and more, a little bit more and more, a little bit more and more, a little bit more and more, to such a place where our life becomes this walking prayer, this walking affirmation, this walking treatment. And we no longer entertain the tricks. We no longer settle for being tricked, but we indeed embrace the allness of who we are. So let us go into our silent time right now so that we can begin to imagine and see ourselves having our treatment be our default. And as you clear away that which is in your laps, you just simply know that that's pretty much just an outward symbol of clearing away that which is not necessary. And I'm going to take in a deep breath, and I invite you to take in a deep breath with me. Truthfully, I'm tired of being tricked. Tired of believing that there's not enough, or that I'm damaged, or unworthy, or unlovable. I'm tired of hearing people talk about how they're unlovable, or how low their self-esteem is. And so we use this time right here, right now, to recognize if there's any areas within us where we're tired of being tricked, either tricked by others, but really tricked by ourselves, where we've tricked ourselves into believing in lack and limitation and doubt and fear, where we've tricked ourselves into believing that we are separate from the life that God is. And as we pinpoint that place within us, and maybe all the list of how we believe in separation or lack and limitation, we simply take that list right now, or those thoughts, and we tell it to be gone, to disappear into the nothingness from which they came. And we simply align ourselves with this truth. There's a power and a presence. There's one life. And that life is that life that God is. And I'm going to accept just a little bit more than I did before. And I'm willing to embrace right now that this power, that this presence, that this one life is my life right now. Because as I believe that, as I begin to know that, as I begin to move away every little obstacle that blocks me from knowing this truth, then I get to be free. So in our quiet time, we're just simply knowing that our life is that life that God is. My life is the way that God shows up. My life is the way that God shows up. My life is the way that God shows up.
God is where I stand. God is standing strong where I breathe. God is breathing life in and out and through me as me.
So right where I am, God is. God is expressing beautifully and magnificently as my life. There's no possible way that God's life could be separate from my life, or that my life could be separate or separated from that life that God is. For see, there's one power, one presence, one life, and it has created everything out of itself. Therefore, our life is the beautiful and magnificent way that God is expressing itself. And it's simply wanting us to remember that this is our truth. Right where we are, God is. It is so, and so it is. So if I were to say trick or treat, what would you want? Exactly. So we're going to get treated right now. I'm going to invite our ushers to come forward. And what a treat it is for our ushers to come forward, because as we have been so richly blessed and given, as we continue to receive and be prosperous in life, we have an opportunity to be givers, redistributors of that which we've been given. And so now I invite you to simply take out that which you've brought to this spiritual community to give as a gift, to give in demonstration, to give as a portion of what you've been so greatly blessed with and so greatly given, knowing that we're simply redistributing the good. And as you hold it in your hand and hold your gift in your hand, simply give it a blessing of your own, knowing that you have been so blessed and that it has been given to you so freely, whether you've worked for it, whether it's just been handed to you, whether it's been inherited, however it has come to you. You know that now you're simply putting it into circulation, just like it was in circulation as it came to you. So we're actively participating in the circulation of life. We're not clotting up the financial system or the spiritual system. We're simply allowing it to flow. So we bless it as it leaves our hand and as it reaches many, many other hands, knowing that it affords us this opportunity to be here and to continue to hear the message and to remind us of our truth and to provide courses and classes and to provide all the wherewithal that those who need to know the truth of who they am have a place right here. So for this, I give thanks. Ushers, you may now go forth. How great it is to be able to give, and also how great it is to be able to receive a treat. So she's here every week with us, and what a treat she is indeed. So bringing us our musical inspiration tonight is our very own Sunny Daye.
Good evening again, everyone. Thank you again, Reverend Sunshine. I used to think God was the sun. Oh, God is the sun. And God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all and all, needing us to shine its light as we, as you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Oh, command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. And God needs us to shine its light as me, yeah, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I abide as you show me all that I must do. And God needs us to shine its light. Oh, God needs us to shine its light. And God needs us to shine its light as me, yeah, yeah. And as you, so use me. Oh, God, I stand for you, and here I abide as you show me, as you show me all that I must do. Oh, show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must, all that I must do.
Beautiful.
That was beautiful, baby.
Thank you.
You ain't never heard it like that before. She been watching American Idol and The Voice, and she's like, I like the way they be mixing up the songs. I'm gonna try that with Use Me. Don't tell Ricky Byers backward. We get to have fun around here, and it is our time now where we have just a few moments to hear from you, because what we believe here at the Revealing Experience is that we're all revealers of truth. So we have an opportunity to maybe hear from one or two of you And I think the question tonight is going to be like, what are you going to treat yourself to? Meaning, what are you going to take into prayer? Or what are you ready to, which trick are you ready to release? All right, here we go.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
First thing I'd like to say to you is that the class you gave us ended last week on addictions and things was just fantastic, as I expected it to be. And when I went to that class, I thought, I'm not sure where I'm going, except that I'm going because you're there. That's it, because I don't have an addiction problem, alcohol or whatever. But I found out that I did have an addiction problem. They're very bad beliefs. That my life was all about bad beliefs. And I looked at the course, and I started to read it and things, and then I went home and I started to pray about this, and I realized that I needed to approach it a little bit differently than what the class was, the way it was going down about how I was doing it. And I had a marvelous healing, a series of them. And what occurred was that I talked to God every night. I asked him for help, and and whatever, and I said, when I get these bad beliefs, they can be extremely difficult, like depression or whatever. And I said, I learned in Est you could say, thanks for sharing and watch it go away, but that isn't so easy to do because I was trying to do it by myself. Just me trying to rethink something else. So I thought, no, God has told me I really need to have a belief in something far more powerful than that belief. So I happen to like the Lord's Prayer, and I like the 23rd Psalm, and I thought, well, every time a bad thought comes to me, I'm going to contemplate what the Lord's Prayer means to me. And I did, and after a couple of days, honestly, just a couple of days, all of a sudden I woke up one morning, and I didn't have a bad thought in my head. I didn't have it all day. I thought, this is a strange place to be because there's nothing going on in here. I truly was like, it's empty, And I thought, well, okay, just accept it, And then I said one night, at night, another thought tried to come to me at night, and I went through the same thing, and I said, well, one thing I've learned is that because I'm part of the allness of God, I am whole, complete, and perfect. And I asked God, I said, look, tomorrow morning when I wake up, I want to know that's what I am. I want to know I am the peace of God, and that my whole day is going to be nothing but love and peace. And I have had the most phenomenal day you could ever imagine. And I was challenged by someone who was kind of going through their stuff, and I was looking at it like, well, too bad for you. I'm not going to see that in you either, by the way, but I just wanted to share with you. It was because of your class. And I wish you would have some more classes around here because they were really powerful.
Thank you.
So thank you.
I certainly will. Thank you. All right. Right here, and then I'm going to come to you, and then we'll wrap it up. Thank you, beloved.
Thank you. Well, thank you for that beautiful service. Well, the trick that I want to let go of is the trick that they made us think we were Americans, or we were Russians, or we were Germans, or we were anything else, when really, just take a look at it from outer space. It is one world. There are no such countries, things as nations.
Exactly.
And the treat is that we are, that with the help of Melanie, we're helping to make a movie called My Country is the World that treats us all to the reality that we are already one. We don't have to struggle to make the world one. We don't have to fight to make it one. We just have to open our eyes to realize it is one.
Exactly. That we are global citizens, that it's one, and we're part of it. What a great treat that is. All right. You're going to take us home. Stand up. You know we want to see you.
Thank you so much for your message tonight. It was great in many, many ways. And I just wanted to, I'm going to treat myself to this spiritual mind treatment workshop this Saturday by Reverend Catherine Economou. And so it's perfect in line with what you're talking about. We come here each week to treat ourselves to you, the light that you shed on things and the revealing experience. And then most of the time outside of here, speaking for myself, we might be tricking ourselves quite a bit. So to really get in line with how to give our own spiritual mind treatments to ourselves, and that's what it is. It's treating the mind. Yes. The mind tends to take over and want to figure everything out for us. How, why, how long is it going to take, and when are you going to get there, and that type of thing. So to spiritually treat it and then have the love come through the heart and the feeling behind it really happens to make it come true. And I've been practicing this for about 10 years now, and I am so blessed and grateful for all of the things that have come true for me through these affirmations and these spiritual mind treatments, and I am eager to keep on going. So thank you for sharing, and it's perfect timing for this workshop. So.
Absolutely. Excellent. There are no coincidences. I see a burning desire. All right. I knew there was one more. When I went here and here and we'll take it home, I was like, I knew there was one more, one quick one. Thank you, beloved.
I just want to remind you that God comes in all shapes and sizes. And yesterday, God, being my guardian angel, was a lifeguard when I was floating south in a riptide.
Whoa.
And so, thank you, everybody, because I'm here.
You believed. You believed that you would be here today. Wow. I'm so glad that that lifeguard was there. Yeah. So glad that lifeguard was there. All right. So, let's see. So speaking of that workshop that's coming up on Saturday with Catherine Economo, starting on November the 4th, I'm going to be doing 30 days of meditation again. So if you are one who usually gets depressed or sad or forgets, or you want to treat yourself for the holidays, to knowing the truth of being in a global community together as we do treatment. I think it's called Out of the Stillness Meditation Group. It starts on November the 4th, and it's on the phone. You just put your phone on mute. You let me lead you in meditation. If you want to sign up for it, go to www.globaltruithnetwork.com. And if you need that information, I'll give it to you in the family room afterwards. But you don't have to be alone. You can be in community, come here, be together, recognize who you are, accept it, embrace it, live it, and we can get through anything shining. See, she didn't just survive in the riptide. She came, she's shouting about it. Guess what? She didn't just shut up about it, but like, look, I'm here. Thank God. All right. Wow. You know, our time here together is so, so precious. And as we're coming to the end of this month, we are embarking upon November. And November's theme is, I think I believe. I think I believe it. And the book for the month is going to be The Thought Exchange by David Freeman. I'm not sure that they have it in the bookstore today. I think they'll have it by Sunday. So if you're going to be around in the area on Sunday and the bookstore is definitely open on Sunday, please feel free to just stop through the bookstore and pick it up. It's going to be our book for the month, and I'll be speaking from that book this month, coming up in November. I want to make sure that I thank everybody who helps to put this service together. Rich, who usually goes unnoticed, he duplicates our CDs for us on Wednesday nights, and he makes them available so that if you purchase them, they're already there at the bookstore. By the time you walk out, you know, they're there. And he does an incredible job in duplicating that for us every week. So if you see him out there, tonight's going to be the night that you get to go. Thanks for the great job you do duplicating that. We good with that? Yes. Yeah? All right, so we're going to take care of him and just give him some love. Absolutely. I want to thank Ginny. She coordinates everything for us. Make sure our practitioners are here, the seats, everything is in divine order and unfolding wonderfully. I want to thank Melanie. She's doing our sound tonight. Thank you, Melanie. Tonight behind the camera and making sure that our viewers at home are live streaming wonderfully is our practitioner, Tim. Tim, thank you so much for the service that you provide, and thank you at home for being with us in such an intimate way. We would not be the same without you here, so thank you so much. We want to make sure that we thank Cameron. What a great, great invocation and reading. him along with Robin Mitchell in the back. She's been holding our light. They are our practitioner team tonight. They're available for prayer after service. So if there's anything that you would like prayer for tonight, please see them in the chapel. And they are so, so willing and ready, and it is their joy to pray for you tonight. And if you don't want to hang around tonight, or if you're a little shy about meeting with a practitioner, right in the back where Robin is holding the light, you can go ahead and fill out a prayer request and know that the practitioners and the ministers here at Seaside, we're holding you in prayer and we're knowing the truth for you. We're treating for you, okay? We're treating for you. We're going to do a treatment for you and about you. We're going to spiritually gossip about you. We're going to know the truth, and we're going to talk about how great that truth is. And that's the truth that we're going to know for you, okay? Because the universe is conspiring for your good, and we know that. So thank you to our practitioners for holding that consciousness. Jim Bianchi, Sunny Daye, amazing.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you, because you could have been anywhere on this Wednesday night, but you decided to be here in this spiritual community, and it means the world to me because I love you, and I care so much about you, and I'm so glad that we have an opportunity to come together in spiritual community and know the truth with one another and support one another in our growth and unfoldment. We're going to be in the family room right after service, so please come and have some tea, some crumpets, drink with your pinky up like this. We're just going to have a gay old time. Yeah. All right. We're going to pray now.
In song, yes.
In song. It's in your program.
This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see, with open hearts and open hands. We lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see, with open hearts and open hands. We lift our voices, in love we stand. Oh, we lift our voices, in love we stand. Oh yes, we lift our voices, in love we stand.
Good night. I got hugs for you in the family room. Okay.
Oh, there is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. 'Cause everywhere I am, I know what I got. There is nowhere that God is not. Oh, there is nowhere that God is not. There is nowhere that God is not. 'Cause everywhere I am, I know what I got. 'Cause everywhere I am, I know what I've got. Everywhere I am, I know what I've got.